Thank you kindly, everybody out there on Patreon.
Who? What?
Patreon. That's
Jackie, it's just like HBO's new movie, Paterno, with a few letters rearranged. If you can't remember Patreon, folks, and you got a yearning to give us money, think Paterno, the new Al Pacino movie coming on HBO. Unless it's a series. It's not a series.
Who's going to watch that every week?
I don't know.
I wouldn't. I know I wouldn't. But hopefully every month y'all can contribute a little bit to help us keep this on the computers past the 300s and keep on going. We sure do appreciate all your help so far. Just
already so many people give us so much money.
Yeah.
I mean, just shit tons of it.
Well, don't say it like that.
Folks, we really appreciate it. If you give us $5 a month, you get our new bonus weekly podcast, 20 extra minutes with Jackie and Dunlap.
That's you and me.
That's us.
Yep.
That's what they're paying for.
Well,
folks, and when we get up to around the $500 level, we're going to start a brand new podcast. That podcast is called Redneck Matinee.
I'm looking forward to that, watching all great movies. When I was younger, I enjoyed watching all through the 60s.
White Lightning.
70s. White Lightning, Gator, Part 2.
Gator. It's White Lightning Part 2. Did y'all know that?
Well, I did, yeah.
Yeah.
This information that people will be learning with they listen on this.
That'll probably be the first thing we say when we get to Gator. We'll say, you know what this is, Jackie?
It's Part 2 of White Lightning.
Shit.
Well, hey.
So that's when we get up to around 5. If we get up even further than that, we got to go where we going to do 2 of these podcasts a week.
Yep.
That'd be 2 sponsors and 2 newses.
Yeah, there's enough news to us to probably keep talking on this and not move for,
just
all
week
long. Just sit here.
Just order in.
Yeah.
Folks.
I got to go to the bathroom every now and then, but other than that,
I'll get you a can. I'll get you a Crisco can.
Crisco can?
Yeah, you can do either one in it.
No.
Folks, you can see that your money is well spent here on the Shitting in a Crisco Can podcast.
All right, don't start that. Thank you kindly. We appreciate it. Leave it there. That's it. Don't talk about going to the bathroom when you ask people for money.
They do it on NPR all the time, probably.
Hey, look at there. You see him? Well, open your damn eyes in. It's the old-timey country down-home red state update podcast and them. Coming to you from a bunker underneath Jackie's Market in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. And here they are, both of them.
Hey, everybody, this is Jackie Bros.
Folks, people, this is Mr. Dunlap, the man, your best friend. Opening that beer on this podcast, time to get it underway. Yeah. We can't spend 2 minutes at the top of every podcast begging for money. I feel bad.
Well, it's a new thing right now. Right now, you got to remind people. After a while, people get you don't keep the NPR don't do it all year long, do they? Are they always on there? If they do it more at a certain time or whatever when it's time, So.
I think they always talk like it's scheduled, but I imagine they's just a really nerdy accountant.
Now, I don't listen to NPR. I just hear it always asking for money. And to me, what I remember is Channel 8 here in Tennessee is Channel 8. That's what the PBS. And they'd get you with Austin City Limits or something be good during that time you get on there. And then they're trying to give you a tote bag and trying to give you a hat, a jacket, on and on and on, money. I said, I just turned this on, so I see Mickey Gillett sing a song, and they still begging me for money. So I apologize to everybody out there.
You gonna do your Mickey Gillett impersonation now?
No,
to make it up to him?
I ain't doing my Mickey Gillett impersonation.
There you go.
Well, what?
Oh, I thought that was it.
No, I said I ain't gonna do it. I don't have an imitation as far as I know.
Most of yours don't sound that great.
Well, I wasn't trying to do it for nobody. You're the one that sit there and, told me to do it. I wasn't planning on trying to impress anybody.
A lot of times back at Jackie's store, we'd be sitting around drinking, just make fun of Jackie. We'd be like, Jackie, do your Victor French.
Well, Victor French and the different, I can't remember what I used to do. It's been a long time since I've seen that show. But, it's because of beard, mainly. If you have a beard, you can,
Jackie'd be like, stop being an angel.
Yeah.
But it just sounded like him.
Well, yeah. I ain't trying to sound like nobody else. That's not part of it.
That's part of doing an impersonation.
Well, I didn't necessarily say it was impersonation. I said, you'd say, do you such and such, and well, he says this, he says things like that, but I ain't trying to do his voice.
That's just Wikipedia.
Well, whatever it is.
Folks, people, a lot of news has been happening this week.
Really?
I don't know if you, Jackie, I don't know, Jackie, I know sometimes you like to tune out and not pay attention to what's going on.
Well, now I got a reason to. I wasn't on the computer no how, but somebody said that we have a book faces books on the computer, and now somebody told me don't ever get on there anymore because somebody watching everything you do. And I always said that. They'd look at you. Anytime you get on the computer, the whole world can see what you're doing and how you're doing it.
It turns out that Jackie's crazy old man Unabomber paranoia was correct.
Yeah, well, I told you. I've been saying it since the thing, since you first hit a button on one and I talked into it. That's one of the first things I've been saying. And why anybody get on a computer and talk, and try to do things that don't make a bit of sense to me. Now, I know I'm on this talking here, but this could be radio, except they don't make them anymore.
They don't make radios anymore?
Well, in your car, but nobody buys a radio, Nobody buying a radio, you listen to it in your car. Everybody listening to the phone all the time. You don't, have a radio. Nobody gets those anymore.
You talking about, like, just a radio you walk around, like, held up to your ear like a transistor?
People use that's all that you had at one
disco
time.
boogieing?
That's what you had. I don't know about disco boogieing, but you didn't have, usually I remember you had a little tape recorder. It had a little handle on it. You just hit the thing, that's all it was. You could play, music on.
Jackie, I believe that information wants to be free. Maybe a lot of people out there are against freedom, but I believe that anything I have that could be known or shown is available for anybody who wants to know it or show it.
Why?
A lot of people getting off Facebook because Mark Zuckerberg didn't really put out the fire.
Is that Computer Boy made it? Okay,
yeah, he had a movie made about him. Did they make a movie about the man who invented CB radio? I don't think so.
No. His work is seen in a lot of movies, but didn't show him fixing it, no.
And if we get up to $500, we'll talk about those movies.
Well, yeah.
In a brand new podcast called Redneck Matinee.
If you really want to raise like lots and lots, that's what you could start us with. For lots and lots of money to make a movie about the man that invented the CB radio. Now, that's something that somebody, I ain't saying I need to do it. Somebody needs to do it.
Imagine if there was one of those trucker movies where the Russians infiltrated the CB radio networks.
Yeah.
They was on every channel, and they were spreading fake news.
All truckers, yeah.
Right. Hey, comrade, there is Smokey at the next exit.
Yep.
And they'd be like, well, land sakes, I heard they was a Smokey. Better slow down. Then the other truck races ahead of them.
Yep. And then, of course, the other way, too, if it's Russians, they're crafty and mean that way. They'd be like, oh, I can't talk Russian, but all clear how they talk.
Oh, that's better.
And then it's safe here. No smoky in sight, Conrad, or however it said. And then, they all get arrested.
So I see. So the sheriff and the Russians are colluding with each other. The corrupt, fat.
Well, now, everybody weird about this word colluding. The one person going to figure out colluding, that's Robert Mueller. But either way, they're working together, whether they saying they are or not. Just like right now, the Republican Party, my party has gone down the hill since it got anything to do with Trump. they may not be talking to Russia every day. They not be on the phone or the computer saying stuff to them, but they sure as hell ain't saying anything on purpose. They're keeping their mouth shut. There's another election coming up, and ain't nobody doing anything about it. And I mean, that right there to me is saying,
come on over, comrades.
Yeah.
Like, everybody thinks colluding means some sort of secret, shady meeting at a secret, shady hotel, which also happened, but it could just mean working together. Everybody plays a part.
Yeah.
Marco Rubio's part is just to quote Bible verses and wait for Russia to throw the next election to whoever they want to. And folks, listen, it may not be fucking Donald Trump next time. I know there's some discussion about were the Russians wanting to sow chaos or were they wanting to elect Donald Trump. It's the same fucking thing.
Yeah, well, watch your
mouth.
mouth.
Same fucking thing.
Watch your mouth when you say it, but yeah. But yeah, all these Republican people hiding in the office right now, they ain't got a thing to say about that. What are we doing to prevent this? Certain steps are being taken. Ain't nobody doing anything. Ain't nobody doing anything in the White House except coming or going.
Why would they do anything? Because that's the only chance they got of getting reelected.
Yep.
It's with Boris's help.
Well, yeah. I'm just going to lay low, be quiet, no one's going to notice. Well, we're noticing, Paul Ryan. We're noticing, Mitch McConnell. A lot of us are noticing, Some of them like crazy, like Nunez, all for it, And let's be honest, there's a lot of Trump people out there, and you can admit this or not admit it. Some people, I think, are so far gone, they think, well, they're just making this stuff about the president. But there's a lot of them, because there's a lot of people like, a president who ain't complete, excuse my language, dumbass,
Jackie calls him president dumbass.
Well, that's what I call him, and I excuse my language for it, but I think in order to express myself concerning the current president of the United States of America, there ain't no better way to do it I can think of. But a lot of these folks, they know that he and Russia work together, and they don't mind.
Listen, if you think Trump is the best thing for this is going to sound like a defense. Maybe it is. If you think Trump is the best thing for America, and you think the Russians got Trump into the presidency, then why are the Russians bad? Because they helped America.
Yeah.
To most people, the Russians are out for themselves, and they're trying to hurt America. They're trying to sow chaos, or they're purposely trying to get Trump in there because they got something on him. We don't know yet exactly which horrible slice of this pie it is. I mean, we have a pretty good idea. It's probably everything I just said.
Yeah.
All at the same time.
Yeah. But a lot of these people are saying, well, of course he congratulated him for winning the election. Why would the president not do that, even if it was written on crayon, big letters, don't congratulate, and he still did it? But you should be polite to the man that put you in power. Why? How dare you ask, President Dumbass to, not have decent manners concerning this? Russia and America working together. If Russia put him in office, then good on them. There's a lot of Republicans that are doing that, that's trying to, cover up for the president, keep him, taken care of best they can. We'll see how that turns out, Nunez and them, But a lot of Trump supporters know damn well that him and Putin got something going on, whatever it is. If Putin got some, but they don't give a damn, and they don't. Just be honest about it. Don't sit there and say there's nothing going on. Just say, well, I know damn well there's something going on, but I don't care.
I'm glad.
Yeah. Thank God somebody's on the ball.
That's how we got here today, where I'm happy, a Trump supporter, and you're crazy now because you hate Trump.
Yep. Be honest about it. Don't say, oh, there ain't nothing there. Well, obviously there's something there. Everybody can see that. Just be honest.
Well, no. If you watch Hannity or them shows, the Russians were working with Hillary Clinton.
Well, yeah.
So, obviously, some people still think Russians are bad. I think they'd do just as good if they were like, fuck it, Russians are good.
Watch your mouth, yeah. Might as well, just like I said.
I mean, how is that? That just seems like it'd save them a lot of work. Like, Russia and America are friends. Remember, the eagle and the bear are going to be a mighty pair, and that song Hank Williams Jr. recorded about the first Iraq War.
Yeah.
Which I hope he's got another one of those ready to go when Bolton gets in.
Well, yeah, everybody now, this happened. This is last week. Feel like 2 damn years ago. Last week, or a week before, something like that, everybody's McMaster. He's next on the chopping block. That's what the,
We were doing it as we were ending the podcast.
That's right. It was last week. Yeah, we were coming out. And they say
John Roberts from Fox News was like, I am hearing that McMaster is out. And then I think before we got done, or maybe right after we got done, he was on there saying, I'm hearing now that McMaster's not out. And Sarah Sanders got on there and said, no, McMaster ain't out.
Fake news, what they said. They said fake news over and over again. They got on. But then, why, if that's fake news, but it's right, then isn't more than likely everything that they're saying fake news is.
John Roberts got on Twitter and said, this is the kind of podcast that just reads John Roberts' tweets. But he basically said either they was lying or they didn't know jack shit. That's paraphrasing.
Well, I don't think he.
John Roberts is a Fox News correspondent.
Yeah.
Silver-haired fox.
I like old John Roberts still, yeah.
So now John Bolton is coming in, another Fox News contributor.
Yep.
And also former Bush administration UN, what do you call that? Where you go to the UN and you yell at them?
Well, now, I love President Bush, so you tread lightly what we're talking about here. Now, I think he was misguided by Cheney, and I think, Bush thought he was doing what was best at the time, but I think everybody in hindsight looks back at that, well, hell, the damn president ran on it. President dumbass, that's why he got in the damn office. He did nothing but run President Bush down in the dirt, constantly saying the Iraq War was the dumbest thing we ever got involved in, shouldn't have done that, blah, blah, blah. And now he just hired the man that helped get us in the damn thing.
I think we thought that John Bolton was a little too crazy for Bush. I feel like we thought Bush snickered behind his back. But it was funny to watch his head get red and get mad and bluster and fume at the international community.
Yeah.
Of course, now he's probably going to get us all killed. I guess if you think that the press is calling you weak and you're looking weak when you try to look strong by kissing Putin's muscular ass and you go up there and like, how can I look strong again? I'll bring in a warmonger into my administration. And this also gives Trump the chance. I'm not saying Trump ever has a strategy in his head, but he's like, I'll bring in the war guy that'll make me look strong, and then I'll be like, Bolton's always saying he wants war, but I'm like, John, what about peace?
He'll be preoccupied with, something else to even respond to him.
It's like there was a sideshow going on that was scary, especially if you weren't white, but scary even if you were white. And the sideshow was happening, and then you had Gary Cohn in there, and they were getting all that money for all the Wall Street people. And everybody was distracted by the sideshow. Again, this is one perspective on what we've just lived through.
Yeah.
But now it's all sideshow. Even the rich Wall Street people are gone.
Money people gone, yeah. He's just going to surround himself with a bunch of crazy. I mean, that's what
McMaster's gone. Now Steve Bannon said that once he fires General Kelly, he won't have a chief of staff. He'll have 4 or 5 trusted equal, lieutenants.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus Christ. At least we'll still get leaks.
Well, yeah. That ain't going to stop.
I don't even know what's happening. Who is left in there? Is everybody new? Pompeo's in. Bolton's in.
Who's on the way out? Well, Kelly eventually going to be out.
Kelly's going to go.
They're saying Dr. Ben Carson, who I still like Dr. Ben Carson. They're saying he's mad at him because all the trouble he get into.
I would love for Dr. Ben Carson to join the resistance. He doesn't have to stop slowly praying every time he appears somewhere. All he has to do is just say that Trump is a dumbass.
Well,
one time.
There's no better proof of it than like he put me in a job I know absolutely nothing about. This is what kind of, president this is, and something needs to be done. He'd come out tomorrow and say that, and I'd, hug his neck for it. I still like Dr. Ben Carson. His wife bought all that stuff, too, by the way.
Oh, is that what he said?
That's what it was, yeah. He didn't have nothing to do with it. He said, I don't know anything about shopping. He don't know first thing about it. That's what he said. He said,
I wish I had a wife I could blame things on.
He sent her out to get the new, whatever, desk chair, whatever it was, dining room set.
Nobody mentioned this, but I'm just curious. Did he have to get a new dining room set because he performed brain surgery emergency style on the table?
Now, that might have been a consideration. It should have been, because if an emergency happened and something happened to somebody's brain, when they're in there talking to Ben Carson, which is likely, you never know. If something could happen to you, you don't know. He needs a treatment immediately. You'd want to have one of those, like on mass or something on those tables to pull out.
Yeah. And he wouldn't. Dr. Ben Carson, some of his staff may be like, oh, no, Dr. Carson, not on the dining room table. He'd be like, this man needs help.
Yeah. But that's obviously not the case, because he sent his wife out to get it, because I don't know if she knows anything about that. If he was concerned about that, he would have got it. Now, we need this kind of table here, because I may have to, open somebody's skull up.
Well, but you also need, room to eat.
Well, yeah.
You don't want to get operate and just make it an OR in there. You still want to be able to sit down and have a sandwich.
Well, he already said he didn't have anything to do with it. His wife did it, but maybe she knows how he operates on tables as well as anybody. She should, I guess. It's his wife, but I don't know. But basically, he said she did it. He didn't have nothing to do with it. That's what he said. He said, she went out shopping. Next thing I know, here I am having to talk to all y'all people.
Oh, every man at a Republican convention understands that story.
Well,
wife go out shopping, come back, you're no longer director of HUD.
Yeah.
HUD's a good movie.
Oh, that's a good movie, yeah. Kill every one of them cows, yeah.
Folks.
They were sick. He didn't just go out killing cows for no reason. They were all sick. He had to, that's how he shot them all.
So what happened? So the Russians are on there. They've infested the CB radio channels. The truckers don't know whether they're coming or going. So what happens? Jerry Reed comes in and beats up all the Russians?
What?
How's that trucker movie end?
All right. Hopefully, yeah, Russians get their butt kicked one way or another. He either comes in, or they bring the trucks in and all run over they find out where all the Russians are on the CB, like that place they got in Russia where they're all on the computer. They find out where it is, and they all take the trucks and run over it.
Oh, that'd be good.
Yeah.
I guess people could just get off the CB radio, too, and spend more time with their families.
Here's something, if we do end up talking about this movie, I don't want to waste talking about it here, but if you got a trucker movie and a house don't get run through with a truck don't run over a building or something, then you doing something wrong.
Yeah, Breaker is a great.
They do it in Convoy. Now, Smoking the Bandit, I don't know if they run through a building, run over a building, and I can't recall right offhand, but that movie gets by on charm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Breaker's a whole town.
Yeah, they come in and run over everything in that town, yeah.
These are just teasers, folks. We don't want to get too far down this rabbit hole.
Yeah.
So, Facebook ruined our country and your lives.
For a lot of different reasons. First off, let's not just get into all this, just because they stealing whatever information or selling or however they do it. There's a lot of reasons everybody getting on there.
Just because you are a company that wants to put Trump in power and wants to hire Ukrainian sex workers to entrap politicians. Where was I going with this?
Huh?
Doesn't mean that's not Mark Zuckerberg's fault. Look, it's not his fault that
he just took the money from him for doing it, didn't it? That's
when you pull up Facebook, it looks like it doesn't make any sense. There's like a million fucking things on that page.
Watch your mouth now.
Where are you supposed to click?
I don't never knew how to work it. You show me how's that picture. Click on the picture or whatever. That's all I know how to do.
You remember when Facebook come out and they was like MySpace still around and you had all them sparkly spangles and like MySpace had stopped making sense and everybody stopped using MySpace and moved to Facebook because Facebook was clean and made sense. MySpace didn't even work with Ukrainian sex workers. People just got tired of it.
Yeah. It's just another computer thing.
People barely fought on MySpace. So people were tired of Facebook. I think people were getting kind of tired of Facebook. Some people
give
get
them an
tired.
excuse to people getting tired of computers in general. Yeah.
They need an excuse to get mad at Mark Zuckerberg. People thought Mark Zuckerberg was going to run for president.
Computer boy?
Huh?
The computer boy.
Yeah, he's not now.
Well, no, I wouldn't want him to be. Well,
He
if
does
it was,
still
if
own.
it was between him and what we got, I'd take I'd take that over what we got, but wouldn't be excited about it.
So Facebook ruining the country,
Yeah,
our lives. The Uber driverless car
run over somebody.
run over
Yep,
somebody.
the end
So
of that.
computers are out of control.
Wouldn't trust him. I don't want no computer to drive me nowhere.
You wouldn't let a computer. What if you had to get to the store?
I mean, if I had to get
Well,
to
you
the
need
store,
to go get some cigarettes or a Coke.
I'll get in the truck, drive my damn self is what I'll do.
No,
man.
not when it's outlawed.
What?
They're saying that eventually driverless cars will be so much safer than driving your drunk self to the store that driving your drunk self to the store will be outlawed.
Well, now, there's a lot more drunk people that run over and kill people than the computer has so far. If you were going to add that up, if it had to be one between another, you just looking at, casualties or whatnot,
Right.
then the computer car win. But, computer kills one person. That's a bad, people don't like it. People don't like
Well,
it at all.
if you run the numbers, actually people drive like millions more miles than the Uber driverless car has driven so far, and they've already killed one person. Which I don't remember the exact percentage, but I think they're killing 75% more people than humans. That may be an inflated figure.
The computer is?
Computers are on. Listen, Jackie, we're not going to get super safe driverless vehicles until we kill thousands of pedestrians.
Well, trial and error, I guess, but I don't want to be the one. I don't want to be no guinea pig getting my head run over in the middle of the street.
Listen, for science, a lot of people mad at Uber anyway. Uber, gross bro culture, gross CEO. I can't remember why he's also gross, but just take my word for it, folks. I'm no Russian. Also, but now when this happens to Tesla driverless cars and old Elon Musk has to come up off some of that Mars money, you think he's going to go to the funeral of every pedestrian his car's run over?
Hell no. You just said something like this. You said people's already made it at Uber. Is there anything people ain't mad at right now? Is there one thing?
Let's think.
Somebody help us. If there's one thing in the world that everybody's on board with and not somebody ain't mad at, I don't know what it is. I can't think of nothing. Yeah.
What about
There are people running down that new Benji movie coming out.
why?
I don't think. Tell me.
What'd they say about it?
This people saying it ain't no good.
You know you have to watch that on computer,
What is it?
on the Netflix,
Is that the only place it is?
computer TV.
Well, if you got people mad at Benji, then ain't no hope for nothing. People mad at a new Benji movie. Why? Of all the things in the world to be mad at, you're going to be mad at that. That's something everybody love. Pretty little dog, crawling around, rolling around, whatever it does. All that. He does a lot of things, but it usually involves one of those. And there's nothing more adorable than that.
What if it was just him crawling around and rolling around for 2 hours?
Well, that's kind of what it is. Get there's children in peril, but the rest of it, that.
You could probably find that on Netflix anyway.
What is it on there?
Flicks we used to watch.
Oh, Rifle File on Flicks. Yeah. Is that bad now too? Do people not like it? I got.
Give me enough episodes, I'll find something.
Yeah.
So fuck Facebook.
Watch your mouth.
I've got to stay on there because of Tinder.
What is it?
Tinder.
It's another computer's thing.
Oh yeah, Jackie, but this is a sexy one.
All right, I don't want to hear about it.
No, this is how I get all my dates.
I don't care about it. I don't want to hear the first thing about it if it's on there.
I got a sexy Tinder profile.
There's enough filth in the damn news every day. I don't need to hear it from you. Used to be a day you was the person that could bring up pornos, and now I got to hear about pornos every damn day.
So 2 women are suing the president to get out of non-disclosure agreements about their affairs with him.
There'll be a lot more coming. If the more traction these ladies make, I expect about 10 for every woman that steps forward.
One is a
more.
Former play, and this is not. I'm just stating these facts, which are unbelievable. One is the former Playboy model, unbelievable because they had sex with him.
All right, I don't hear about it.
I mean, I don't want to judge. Karen McDougal, former Playboy model, and she says that the president tried to pay her. I believe other women have said this too. When the president has sex, he immediately goes for his wallet. I understand that. I hate it when Trump and I are on the same page.
All right.
You just feel so grateful. Stormy Daniels.
That's the porno lady. That lady does that, yeah.
Yes, and then an Apprentice contestant, Summer Zervos, is suing him for defamation because she filed a sexual harassment lawsuit. Is that right, Jackie?
I think so, yeah. A woman that was on his game show, right?
Yeah, so that's 3 women suing the lawsuits, all continuing against our president.
Game show lady, she got a little traction, Judge, because they were trying to get that thrown out. The judge said, hell no, we're going to find out, He may have to sit down and talk to somebody on camera about that. I remember when they made Bill Clinton do it. If they'd made Bill Clinton do it, they're going to make him do it, which they should have made Bill Clinton do it. I ain't got a problem with that. If you're acting like an idiot and doing filthy things and getting yourself in trouble, then they ought to be able to sit you down and figure out what's going on. But back in Bill Clinton, he did it. Didn't nobody give a damn. Well, some people did, but most people didn't, and that's what happened. I'm afraid that's what's going to happen with this. It's the same thing. And they'll say, well, y'all let him get away with it, so now Trump, gets away with it.
But that was so long ago.
I agree, but still, And don't none of his people, the only people that cares or the only person that cares that he did sex with any of these ladies, or, the porno lady in particular, well, that's one I know see in the news. Yeah, but nobody care about that. I mean, some people do. I think it's tacky myself. But the people that like him, just like they don't mind Russia, they definitely don't mind porno ladies. They don't bother. The only person that seems to bother is him.
Because he has a weird sex thing. Do you think?
I don't want to know anything about it.
Is this a new frontier? Is our next president going to have to have slept with a porn star?
From here on out, who knows where it's going to be. After this, it's, there's a long list of things that Republicans used to be irate over. And I stood with them, stood by their side. And I didn't like Russia. We didn't like, the sex stuff with Bill Clinton. I think we should have done all that we did against him. I'd do it again if he was in there. But, now it's okay. They ain't going to be able to use that on anybody else from here on out. And they should call people out on that. Republicans should stand up. This ain't the kind of character we want in the White House. That's what they said back to Bill Clinton. I agreed with every word they said. Don't nobody say nothing about this. Don't say a word. Don't say a word about Russians, election, what we're going to do, protect our country. Don't say anything about porno ladies just hiding in the damn office. That's it. Make me sick to my stomach. There's a few of them getting mad about the Russian thing now. I've seen 2 or 3. It's starting to man up a little bit and say more than they used to, but even that is barely anything. You ought not be congratulating a criminal. You ought not be congratulating a dictator. You know, just saying that probably gets you in trouble, but a few of them are doing it, so.
Well, Jackie, I know that it's been a tough week. A lot of confusing.
It's just like every other one of them since you've been in there. Just been there.
We may have a president. We're all like, this is awful. Look at how he's doing. He's busting all. This is not normal. All these norms. This may be the new normal. And not just like he gets away with it, but this is what we want from now on. America may want this in the presidency. We may want a show.
Well, I'm glad I'll be dead in the ground if it's what's going to be from now on out, because I sure as hell don't want it.
Folks, people, if you don't want us to go out on that down of a note, we can talk about Trump fighting Biden.
They threatening each other, right?
Biden said he'd take, if they was in high school. Is that what he said? If they was in high school.
If they was in high school.
He'd take Trump. What?
Well, Trump's mentality is still in high school.
That's true.
And I blame Biden for this. It's just like when Rubio made a joke about his hands, and then the next thing you know, man, for running for president, Republican parties talk about his thing in the middle of debate. That tells you something right there. That's what, you know, of course, this, who cares about porno lady? But Rubio started that because he made a damn joke. Same here.
But Rubio's not good at making jokes.
Nope.
Biden seems like Rubio's not good at trying to be a little Trump.
Well, he's not good at anything, let's be honest. Rubio, what is he good at? Name one thing. But, yeah, I hear what you're saying.
Biden's about halfway to Trump himself.
Well, yeah.
So him saying, I'd beat his ass. That tracks. That makes sense.
Well.
Is Biden just going to go full Trump and just go all out like lefty crazy? Probably.
I thought it already was, yeah. But, again, he started it, and that's what Trump is going to say, and he'll be right. Don't mean you have to act like an idiot, too, but, you know, so be it.
Which 2 old men in the world would you most like to see fight?
Well, I tell you what, I watch it around the holidays all the time. Grumpy old men. I watch it. I know they're dead in the ground, but I watch them fight every year. I turn that on TV. Come around Christmas time, Thanksgiving time, around there. That's the 2 best old men to fight. Till the day I die, I'll always be watching them 2 fight.
That is better than Trump and Biden.
Yeah. That's 2 most annoying people that I don't want to see that.
Look, you don't have to like Biden to be okay with the idea of Trump getting punched. So I'm not calling for him to actually get punched.
No, don't. Yeah,
it's just a little trash talk. Nobody wants Donald Trump to actually get punched. I would only want Donald Trump, like, if it was going to have to be like another 70-year-old man.
Well, if it was going to happen, if somebody had to haul off and knock the hell out of him, it should be somebody his age. It
should be surprise attack. It should be like, oh, Mr. President, today you're going to fight Joe Biden. That would be okay. I'm not saying that we're on Joe Biden's side. All I'm saying is the idea of somebody saying, I cannot take any more of this. He was talking about women stuff, right? That's why he said he was white knighting it a little bit, but, you know.
Well, he's the one that puts his hands on people and makes them nervous. He, as far as women concerned, I ain't saying he's worse than Trump or as bad. I ain't saying that at all.
They both make me nervous.
Well, yeah.
In many regards.
Yeah.
But if you was in a bar and you had loudmouth A, Joe Biden, at one end, and loudmouth B, Donald Trump at the other end, I think you're gonna vote for Joe Biden to win that fight.
I'll just be happy if I'm in a bar. They go outside in the parking lot to fight, so I ain't got to hear either one of them.
Lock the door.
Yeah.
That's two loud mouths, and now everybody can drink in peace. The jukebox comes back on. People start dancing. But Trump is basically Francis from Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Who?
But I don't know who that makes Joe Biden.
They ain't gonna fight no how. They ain't gonna mouth off back and forth.
Yeah, we know this story.
Yep.
I've been in enough bars.
Yep. Hey everybody, it's Jackie Bro still talking on here.
Folks, people, this is Mr. Dunlap, the man, your best friend. So happy that you decided to spend more time with us. We're thrilled that we know there's many podcasts you could be listening to. It feels good that you're here, sitting next. I feel like you're right here in between me and Jackie. There's very limited space. I feel like you, our listener, are just wedged right shoulder to shoulder or the thigh to thigh with me and Jackie.
All right.
You're right here, buddy.
Well, I'm glad you're listening, but I mean, they ain't, like you said, there ain't enough room to get nobody else in here, I don't think.
It'd be hot. It'd be unpleasant.
Well, yeah. It's unpleasant either way. You just add more people to it.
Yeah, imagine.
No, I don't want to. I feel bad for them, but I know they wouldn't like it. Uh-oh.
Yeah, we're really doing you guys a service by not having you in here pressed in between us.
Where are people when they listen to it, though? Just wherever they want to
Well,
be?
Jackie, the wonder of podcasting is that you can be anywhere. You could be at the gym. You could be in your car.
Yeah.
You could be walking the dog.
Yeah.
With your headphones on.
Sure, yeah.
You could be at work trying to tune out.
Now, that I know people say I listen to this at work. So I've heard that before. That's nice, yeah.
Making love.
All right.
You could be
all right, enough. I don't want to hear any
taking
more
a
of it.
sexy shower.
All right, enough. I don't want to hear any more about that. Enough. Listen, I got to say something on here. I got an opportunity now. This is where we need to do our sponsors, and I want to say something right now, here and now. Now, people can, what is the term they say, people, well, politicians. I ain't no politician, but they always use the term, I have evolved, right? Evolution. Evolved on this particular belief, whatever it is, thing, or, whatever it is. Well, I guess if I was a politician, I'd be using that term now, but I wouldn't be using it lightly like they do. I would mean it. Now, a lot of y'all know I've been on here many times, and I've had some things I wasn't particularly crazy about this gentleman that you are currently, or you just recently had dealings with, and that his name Victor Mileage. He did a show at Murfreesboro Play Actors Club years and years ago. I won't say it on here, but I'll use abbreviation GD this horse. And I had some issues with that because I love a horse. I don't like swearing. I don't like taking the Lord's name in vain. Now, he has different artistic views. Where's he come? He come from New York, Chicago, something like that years ago. One of those things, right? Where's he? I mean, I don't know where he's from originally.
I'm not sure. I'd have to check our Wikipedia.
Yeah. Well, they ain't one of those anymore, but there's something else somebody got somewhere you can look at.
He might be from Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah. Well, he ain't from around here, I know that much, so they have different feelings. But anyhow, I kind of misjudged his character because of this and different things he's done in the community over the years that I thought that may be fine wherever you're from. But here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, we don't take lightly to it. It don't, we don't sit well with some people. I guess it's a nice way to put it. But I tell you what now, I was upset with this gentleman, and because this show that you was going to do with him, which I guess you ain't doing it with him no more. Well, I know you ain't doing it with him no more. I talked to him about it.
Well, that's not my fault.
Well, let me tell you. Now, I was concerned about that, and I was even going to go so far as to try to contact the family of Junior Samples because you're going to do this one-man show to tell his life story, and they were going to put sexy stuff in it. The last thing anybody wants to ever, he told funny jokes. That was it. Laying down with the dog or standing up in front of a fence, that's what he told stories.
Listen.
He didn't do no sexy stuff, and that's not what I'm
He had kids.
He didn't do, that's not what he was known for.
That's true.
And that's the way he wanted it, and that's the way it should be. That's between him and his family.
I don't know that that's the way he wanted it. Do you think any person that could be known for doing sexy stuff?
All right. No. Some people wouldn't. I don't know. No. His life turned out just the way he wanted it to. And that's good to know. But listen, Dick the Mileage is going to add all this sexy stuff to this show about Junior Samples, and I said I was upset. I was mad. I was madder about this than I was DD this horse, to be quite honest with you. And it was kind of the final straw for me. And I didn't want to have anything to do with him, but I tell you what, he come over my house early this week, and I had a long talk with him. We sorted some things out, and I am 100%. He thought about what he was going to do with Junior Samples, came to a new conclusion of what he should do. And I tell you what, I love this idea for a lot of reasons, but I do love the idea. I want to see this either way. And I tell you what, I support Victor Mileage. I say I won't tell Junior Samples' family, if any of them are listening, or if you know of any of his family, because I think he may need some kind of permission. I'm not really sure. I'll let him deal with that. But if you know, and you hear about Victor Mileage, you tell him that's a good man, and what he's got in store for the story of Junior Samples' life is something exciting and needs to happen. And I think it will. Now, I really do. So I have my full support. That's also my sponsor is this show he's going to be doing. It's in Numpo Town, which I ain't get out there. I don't know where he's got to do it. Way out with them hippies or whatever it is. It's a show going to be out there. It's the Victor Mileage production of the life story of Junior Samples. And let me tell you what he did. The reason he come to see me wasn't about any of this. He could care less what I think of him. He's one of those fellas that's an artist, and he wants to entertain me. But if he wasn't like, he didn't come over there to say, I want your approval. That's on the wayside there. We just got to talking, and I heard this out. The reason he come over is that he had this grand idea for this Junior Sample show, and I tell you what he needed. He needed those dogs. Some people call them haunted. I think that's a bunch of bull. They ain't haunted. Sick, yes. Sick, yes, absolutely. Something wrong? Yes. Haunted? No. But I beg people to come get the sick dogs. That lets me know how much you love them. If you're going to let a dog be that sick and be somewhere else where you like, I don't have nothing to do with that sick dog. Well, you should have had a dog to begin with. But I tell you what, these dogs are in good hands, better hands than I was able to do. I did my best. It was hard enough to feed them. It's hard enough to take care of these animals, clean up after them, all this stuff. But then people were bringing them to me, and I didn't want to have to take them to the pound, but I was about right there. I was going to have to, because I can't afford the veterinary bills. But in comes Victor Mileage. He says, let me tell you what, I have a plan for these dogs. And he's teaching these dogs a trade. These dogs, he said, you know where Benji come from? I said, where Benji come from? I didn't know. He come from Ohio, New York, Chicago. He said, no, sir, come from the pound. They got that little dog out of the pan. That dog probably going to get put to sleep or whatever else. And they got him out and taught that dog a trade. And look now. Still making movies.
He still died.
What?
I mean, Benji still
The
dead.
first one did. The first last he died. But think about all the other dogs that dog got a job for. Well, Victor Mileage wants to take these, like I said, not haunted but sick dogs, and put them to good use. Give them something. Maybe make these dogs feel good about themselves again. Maybe that'll help them with this condition that they got. He's going to feed them. He's going to groom them. He's going to take care of them as best he can with their situation. They're throwing up cold blood almost on an hour or something like that. And I don't know if he going to be up at 3:17 in the morning, but if he is, he going to see them dogs staring.
Oh, that's when he would usually call me with his sexy ideas for the Junior Samples music.
Well, he won't be calling in with any more sexy ideas. I tell you what, he said he decided after talking to some people about it, he said that's not what, as much as he wanted to do that, and he said he had every right to do it. He did say that. He said I could have done that if I wanted to, but the more I thought about it, that wasn't what I wanted to focus on the life of Junior Samples. What I wanted to focus on was something he discovered. He said this was the real story. That was a real story. And I didn't know this, but he says Junior Sample, you know how life takes a funny turn, and he just told a story about fishing one day. And the next thing you know, hee-haw, there he is, traveling the world, seeing the sights, all that, the show business coming to him. But Victor Miles told me, and I did not know this, that before all that, his dream as a child, when he growing up, he always wanted to be a veterinarian. Horse doctor first, but then veterinarian, which is the same thing, but he just loved horses, but then
specified that he wanted horses.
At first, and then he got to where, if I'm going to learn how to take care of a horse, I want to take care of all
smaller
the animals.
Ones.
Well, all the animals, you know. And most specifically, concerning Victor Mileage, would be dogs. Because he says, I want these dogs to act in this one-man show. It is still a one-man show, but I'm telling you, there's going to be about 15, 16, 17 dogs in it. And I said, well, I don't know about if you can train these dogs to act, so be it. I hope so. I hope Hollywood comes a-calling and get them all work, get them something. But I'm telling you right now, you're going to have those dogs on the stage. Somebody's going to be mopping up all that blood. And he said that was his vision. He heard about these dogs. He did call them haunted, and I told him they're not. But, you know, he to each his own if that's what you want to call them. If that's easy to say, so be it. But he said had this vision where Junior Samples in his mind having this moment where he wants to be a vet so bad, and all these dogs are sick and throwing up, and like show business is calling them. You know, that's you know, he hauls a calling. The stage is a calling him, but he turns around and sees all these dogs. Because I guarantee you, if he's got all these dogs on stage, one of them going to be throwing up blood. And he go from dog to dog and singing this song.
What's the song?
Somebody needs to save these dogs. That's what he said. A big number. Somebody needs to save these dogs.
Sounds like a same old show.
What?
Seen it 100 times.
Now, what do you mean? You ain't never seen a show where dogs are throwing up cold blood and Junior Samples running to each and every one of them saying, I hope I won't save you. But they got to go do comedy instead. Name one show you've seen that in.
Starlight Express.
What is it?
Listen, let me ask you this. Is Raggedy Andy still doing half the show as dance?
Well, he didn't mention that, but I think he said he's going to have him there to help clean up, you know.
Oh, I see.
A little bit.
He's done that before. That's on his resume. He's got experience.
Clean up after sick dogs?
Yeah.
Well, good. He's in the right job then.
Because he was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to get a concrete laying. And then he wasn't having too much luck with that. And just lately he was like, you know, I'd like to either get back into dancing or cleaning up after sick dogs.
He may have met on stage dancing to each one to clean it up. I don't know.
Well, that's what Tika said. Tika said, well, why can't you do both? Why can't you do two things at once?
Well, there's another reason to be thankful for Victor Mileage. Taking all these dogs in, taking care of them.
Yeah.
And your friend, whatever is wrong with him.
Raggedy Andy.
Well, I don't
He's just
call him
missing
that.
part of his nose. What do you call him?
And Bilkins.
Oh, that's right. That's
and
his last-
Bilkins.
Hey, let me ask you this. So what about Priest Dog?
Well, he's in the show now, too, since he's throwing up cold blood like the rest of them.
What about Preacher Dog? Just go against his...
He's there, too. He's bringing all... Because, you know, people, for whatever reasons, don't love the dogs like they should. Catholic Town wouldn't take Priest Dog back.
He was excommunicated.
Yeah. Well, Preacher Dog could have gone back to Holy Road. Like I said, it don't matter what you do. They'll take you in no matter what.
And that's probably good to get Preacher Dog in there because that Jesus movie made a lot of money this weekend. I mean, not Black Panther money, but,
Well,
you know, good Jesus movie.
well,
money.
everybody needs to make a good Jesus movie every now and then.
Huh. Well, that's a pretty interesting... Wait, what happened to the priest?
He's still in the backyard. Yeah,
Why didn't he go with his dog?
Well, it's a one-man show.
It sounds like already there's a dancer.
Well, I think that's when the lights go down in between scenes. They're cleaning it up. It's one-man show.
Does he still get to dance?
I ain't Victor Mileage. I'm going by what I hear. I don't know how to make no play.
If you've got like 18 dogs in a show, is it still a one-man show?
As far as a man goes, yes, one man. Yeah.
That's true.
A bunch of dogs. It didn't say how many dog show it is.
Technically, you're right.
Well, that's it, exactly. Technically, it's right, period.
So, Victor Mileage and my daddy, this is funny, Jackie. It's pretty wait, who's your sponsor?
It's a show.
Victor Mileage give you the... Are you still getting sued by Easter Taco?
He took all these dogs and gave me $25 for it. Now, think about that. And got all the sexy stuff out of Judy samples and put in the good...
veterinary
helping sick dogs. Yeah, I'll take that over sexy stuff any day, helping an animal. And to answer your question, yes, there's supposed to be court papers or something like that. I don't know the first thing about it. I can't afford no Nashville lawyer, but I'm going to have to do something.
Why is the priest still there? Can't he get a hotel or something?
He been excommunicated too, so they ain't, I can't throw a man out in the street,
But he's in your yard.
Well, yeah.
What's the difference between the street and the yard?
Well, street cars going by, in the backyard.
Well, half the time when you come home, you drive your truck down through the yard into the backyard.
Well, I do, but that's just one car, one truck all day. If you're in the street, there's cars every 5 minutes.
I think when people say, I don't want to throw them out into the street, they don't literally mean they're going to have to live in the street with cars whizzing by. I think they mean more like in the yard.
Well, he's in the yard. That's what I said. I let him stay. He's staying in the backyard.
Did you give him a hot plate or anything?
Hot plate.
So he could cook?
Well,
I heat up some beans?
Take him a little something out there,
So every night you bring the excommunicated priest who owned the exorcist dog, who's in a tent in your backyard.
Priest dog, not exorcist dog. Don't see, that's how things get started. You say
every
stuff
night
like that.
You won't let him in your house, but you take him a plate or a biscuit or two.
If I got something, yeah.
What if you don't?
On his own end, I guess. I mean, it ain't like he laid up in there. He goes some places every now and then. I don't know where he goes.
What, has he got a car?
No, he go walking or something. I don't know.
Where's he getting his booze? That's probably where he's walking.
Ain't my business. Maybe. Ain't my business.
In the kitchen, light on, doing around in there, cleaning up the dishes. You go, well, I guess we ain't got enough food left for me to take this priest in the backyard any. And you look outside, and you see his face in the tent, wondering if there's going to be any food. And you say, sorry, Padre, not to his face inside, and click the light off. And he's out there, and you don't even see it because of the darkness.
He's lucky he's anywhere. I'm letting him stay in the backyard. I can't feed him every day. When I got something, I give it to him. And sometimes he ain't out there, like I said. His tent's always there, but he ain't necessarily there. He spends the night somewhere else every now and then, but they got a place to go if he can't,
Let me ask you another question. Is he still throwing up cold blood?
Yeah, he's still, every so often. Not as much as the dogs, but yeah, he's still the only person that I know of that affected it that way. I've been around those dogs, thank God, knock on wood, what do you want to say?
Yeah.
I say thank God. I don't believe in superstition. I believe, good Lord looking out for me there.
So you say thank God instead of knock on wood?
I do. Some people say knock on wood. I say thank God because I don't believe knocking on wood's going to do nothing. I know it's just an expression.
What if you SOS?
But there really is a God, so you thank him.
What if you Morse code SOS up to God?
Well, that's different. You may be in a situation that's the only way you can pray.
Like John McCain.
Yeah, right now, yeah. Or when he's in Vietnam, either one, yeah.
Several times throughout his life.
Bless his soul.
First marriage. We need John McCain now more than ever.
I know he did. Bless his heart, he laid up in the bed. He's still screaming and hollering. He's one of the few people. He got brain cancer, and he's still the only Republican outside of Flake. But I don't even know what do you Flake? I don't even I appreciate the effort, Flake, but still you ain't helping. Flake ain't helping nobody. But McCain's the only one, and I ain't the biggest fan of John McCain. I'll say it. I ain't crazy about all his policy and whatnot, but I will say this for him. Laid up everything against him, fighting for his life, and he's the only one that's speaking loud enough against the president. The rest of them, Mitch McConnell, hiding in his office. Ain't nothing wrong with, well, there's something wrong with Mitch McConnell, but you know what I mean, as far as it ain't no comparison between the two. I don't want to get back on politics. I'm sorry. I don't want to get on that right
Why
now.
was I talking about this? Oh, yeah, that preacher, he threw up cold blood. He went to the hospital.
Preacher did, but yeah, he went to the hospital. Yeah, he did get sick.
Oh, he had a virus. That's it. Just turned out
he was. It wasn't from this. Well, I don't know. They said it's not a virus that a dog could have. It's a person virus. He said, oh, okay, and that was enough for him. But
he didn't go to the best hospital.
Well, no, he went to the hospital, though. So I don't know. So Padre's still throwing up every so often. Yeah, he's still. I give him a bucket. He got something that ain't just going on the floor or ground.
Ground is his floor.
Yeah.
Jackie, I guess it sounds to me like the news I read in this week's Dunlap Village newspaper that I got in the. Right. Oh, by the way. I had a contest with myself this weekend.
A contest?
How many Dodge's tater logs could I fit in my mouth?
All right.
Because they're big. I mean, sometimes you get little ones, too. If you get a sack, they're going to be
different sizes, but they're all pretty good size, though. But, yeah.
But I said, I'm going to see how many of the biggest ones I can fit in my mouth. The thing is, when you get them in your mouth, the spit starts to soften them and kind of soften up that
all right.
thick,
I don't
crispy
need to hear
coat.
how you eat it. I just,
So the problem was I started stuffing them in my mouth thinking they'd stay, but they slowly started finding their way down my throat. So I guess I lost that contest. That's Dodge's tater logs. You ain't got nothing to do if you're eating a tater log.
Well, they got corn dogs, too, but, yeah.
Tater logs. Yeah. Corn dogs.
Got them, too, yeah.
Fried chicken legs. Get a sack of mustard. So, Jackie, I went to the Dodge's store and I got the Dunlap Numpotown Village Gazette newspaper.
Yeah.
And in the back it said, coming soon, Junior Samples, one-person musical featuring many dogs.
Well, yeah.
Junior Samples vet musical. I thought it meant he was in the Army, but I should have known because it said the dogs.
Yeah.
Coming to the Bloody Altar, formerly known as the Moonshine Clamshell at Sniffy Smith Funland.
Well,
that's the Snuffy Smith theme park my daddy was building up there.
Is your daddy going to be out there for the show? Because I ain't seen your daddy in a while. It'd be nice to say hi to him. I don't necessarily spend too much time with him depending on his mood. But because I'm going to go out there, I'm going to see this show when he gets this up. Because, I love them dogs, too. They've been part of my life, sick as they were. I hope they're doing okay. Plus, I want more. Victor Miles told me about this show. This is the kind of show I want to see. I think everybody should see. Again, my sponsor, Victor Miles Junior Samples, a veterinarian show.
Well, when they get this Sniffy Smith theme park up and going, they get that show going, I guess I am persona non grata at Dunlap Village because my invite must have got lost in the mail, and I'm afraid if I went up there, I'd let them have a piece of my mind.
Yeah.
I got my own Senior Jamples show that I'm working on, Jackie. I don't need naked dance. Wait, is Raggedy Andy still going to be naked?
No, he ain't going to be naked anymore. No.
Or just cleaning up. So he's probably wearing coveralls.
Yeah, I hope so, yeah.
I don't need no haunted dogs. that wake up in the middle of the night at the exact same time as Victor Mileage, who would call me with sexy Junior Samples ideas to put into the script.
Well, he ain't calling up no more. No, none of that. No.
Well, now I've got all those images in my head.
Well, they can stay there. I don't want to hear about it. One of them.
And he's playing with dogs.
Playing it. That's a relative word there, but these dogs ain't.
So haunted Victor Mileage and his haunted dogs in the cruel Dunlap village and their slave labor numpos and the damn my daddy, whatever he's up to. Go see that show at, I guess they're calling it used to be called the Moonshine Clamshell because it was going to look like a big ball of moonshine tipped over. That's where they do their shows, but I guess now it's called the damn.
Well, there ain't a date for it.
Bloody Altar.
They're in what you call a rehearsal thing. They're still writing it too, but he went ahead and took all them dogs because he wants to train them just right.
Well, that's great, Jackie.
Well, it is
I
great.
don't need no Victor Mileage to help me do my Senior Jamples show. Senior Jamp, I had the family got in touch, said because of all the sex, I wasn't allowed to do a Junior Samples story. But
good.
I was on YouTube, and I put this up on our Facebook and our damn Twitter and the damn all them places that the Russians like to go to get our information. And I called this our clip of the week. And this is a funny story from Chattanooga television legend Neil Miller from WDEF. And he told a funny little Junior Sample story. Sometimes when you just online, looking for something to jack off to, you find inspiration from the strangest places. And I don't know what Russian runs the YouTube algorithm, but I'd like to thank you, comrade. Folks, listen to this story and tell me if you don't think it would make a great musical.
And this particular year, he got Junior Samples to come in and play Santa Claus, which, hey, we were kind of excited, And I was the MC and everything. So they called the limo.
That's good already. Junior Sample's going to play Santa Claus.
Well, yeah.
Now, I got to get the phone real up close to this microphone, so if you hear some shifting, that's what's happening.
Pulled up, in front, and they called, said Junior Samples is here. So we go out to meet him and greet him and, and get him in his Santa Claus outfit. Well, somehow or another, he had been a little tipsy, had been tipping on his way down during, I guess, the whole trip, maybe all night, I don't know. But, he was soused. Really. So everybody said, oh, my gosh, we got to get coffee down here. We got to do something. And you know how big he was? Huge. I don't know what he weighed, but he was huge and heavy. And when you're in that condition, you're heavier. I don't know what it is. And anyway, it took 4 of us. And so we got him. He says, what do I have to do? I said, well, you're going to be Santa Claus. Oh, yeah. Well, so we get him in here, and literally, we got cups and cups. Doris remembers this, Doris Ellis. And we got cups of coffee, but it didn't work. He was, whoa. So we dressed him, we got him in and put him in the chair, and the kids would come up and get in his lap, and, it was terrible. He said, what do you want? And the kids, I want to get out of your lap. Oh, what a terrible situation. It was awful.
What a terrible situation. It was awful. Doris remembers this. Jackie, I think I'm going to build this whole musical around Junior Samples playing Santa Claus at WDEF in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Now, a Christmas show starring Junior Samples would be good. Yeah, I like that.
Sure. Yeah. You could do Junior Samples Saves Christmas, but I think that the darkness of Neil Miller's story, where through laughter, he's like, oh, what a terrible situation. That to me sounds like there's a little more there than Santa Claus got the stomach flu, and he calls coming Georgia. Coming. Right. So I think that my story is going to start with my musical, Senior Jamples, Christmas, a Junior Samples Christmas.
Yeah.
And they're like, who's coming to play Santa Claus this year? Did we get Larry from accounting? I got a better idea. We got $300 in the cash drawer. Somebody get me the Common Georgia phone book. And there's a whole number where you choreograph it to somebody flipping the pages of a thin-ass phone book. We're looking for a Junior Samples number in this phone book. I'm going to need more people in my show.
Well, that ain't a one-man show. Well,
No.
Doris, you already mentioned. Doris is going to be a big
Doris
part of it.
remembers.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to play Neil Miller. Somebody's got to play Doris. Somebody's got to play the children.
Bless your hearts, yeah. Well, now I have to say, you keep the sexy stuff out of that, I'd watch that. Now, it's a little risque, but if it's true, there's no denying that. If he's a little tipsy at Christmas, you know, he may have been tipsy every Christmas. I don't know. Maybe that's the only time somebody asked him to play Santa Claus.
I find that both hard and to believe and probably true.
Yeah.
I also like the idea of exploring the story of his virginity.
All right.
How he lost it.
All right.
Listen.
You have a good thing, yeah. You can even be a little risque with it. It still works.
Because why is he drinking? What's he trying to forget?
Maybe he just drinking. It's a holidays. Maybe he just feels like getting drunk. Don't everybody have to have something awful happen to him to want to drink?
What if he asked out a girl he liked to the school dance? And she turned him down.
What's that got to do with anything?
Maybe he never lost his virginity.
Listen, you talk about all that women stuff, whatnot, and I don't even like saying this. He was a celebrity. He could have had any woman he wanted to. He didn't have no woman troubles. He's Junior Samples. He's celebrity. Any celebrity can, you know, that's sort of, I don't think he behaved that way.
What, do you sound like Trump?
What do you mean?
Just because you're a celebrity doesn't mean any woman gonna give it up to you.
Maybe not nowadays, but back in when Junior Samples time.
Oh, sure. Different times.
Well, it was.
Time's up on you, Jackie Brawls.
All right.
Maybe I'm going to tell a
Just watch your mouth.
feminist
All
Junior
right.
Samples story.
Well, Doris, you got a perfect opportunity there.
Oh, you're right. What's Doris's story?
She was
She's
there.
not,
She
she's not
remembered.
just some off-camera, tangential Neil Miller prop.
She was in charge of putting coffee down him. From what the man said, she did getting him out of the car. Took four of
Oh,
them.
Lord, we got to get some coffee. You're heavier when you're drunk. Neil Miller knows.
That's true. That's everybody. When you soused, you wait. It feels that way. You feel like, you know.
Yeah, so I'm not sure. Maybe this is Doris's story now that I think about it.
Well.
It's like that woman at the science convention they identified on Twitter. Like, who's Doris? What's her story? Maybe this is all about her.
Well,
Why has she been relegated to the sideline so long?
I don't know.
Where's Doris's version of this story?
You're welcome to do a show about if you had opportunity in your life, if that was the one thing in your life, there was that time I tried to sober up Junior Sample when he drunk as, you know, a skunk. Supposed to be Santa Claus.
Why didn't they just get Neil Miller to be Santa Claus?
Well, I'm nothing against him, but no, you know, he ain't no Junior Samples, you know.
No, it'd take about 4 of him to make a Junior Sample.
Yeah.
So I got a lot of work to do, Jackie. I'm still trying to break the story. I don't know how much about his virginity is going to be in it. I don't know how much.
All of that out there. If you do a show about Doris or just him, you know, drunk and the children, Santa Claus, that's fine. If it's a Christmas show,
Why can't it be Act 1,
no.
Junior Samples loses his virginity, Act 2, Christmas?
Just enough.
Why does everything have to be this or that? Well, it's a Christmas show, so Junior Samples can't lose his virginity.
All right, I don't want to hear about
Those
it
are
anymore.
old rules.
Listen, I'm going to go see Junior Sample show, veterinarian show, Victor Mileage, that's the one I would go see. Because he may, I'm gonna let Victor Mileage know about this video, because I don't think you own that. If there could be a time, maybe that's why he was drinking right there, because he'd rather be, regrets not following his dream to help all the sick dogs. And now he's sick as a dog that it wouldn't help years ago. Oh, I got to tell this to Victor Mileage.
I don't think that's how it goes. I really think it's sex. It's sex.
No, it isn't.
Well, if it's not sex, then maybe it's not dogs.
Oh.
Maybe it's cats.
What?
Maybe I'll get a bunch of cats.
You ain't going to be able to corral a bunch of sick cats on the stage.
They don't have to be sick.
Well,
you're thinking, and I think outside the box.
Well, these
How
dogs
about healthy
are
animals?
sick, but if they can stand stock still, I've seen them do that many times. I'll say that, at a certain time of night. I don't know if you can get them to do it any time, but yeah.
Maybe I'll see if Zesta got an agent.
No, leave Zesta out of this.
Zesta's friend then.
No, leave Zesta's friend out of this.
What about
too.
Barky or Ranger?
Barky or Ranger don't need to be bothering them. These are the dogs that aren't sick. Don't leave them be.
What if Junior Samples is just about to lose his virginity when in
All
come
right.
these dogs?
No.
So that's Dodge's General Store. You ain't got nothing to do if you're eating fuck.
Watch your mouth.
Hater log.
Now's the time that we both have to go. Our podcast come out really great, we know. Our time is at an end, so until we meet again, we'll just have to say goodbye, friend. Saying bye-bye always brings us down. But our bags are packed and we have to leave town. A postcard to you we will send if a stamp to us you'll lend, so we can write and say goodbye, goodbye, goodbye,
Yeah. Now, Junior Samples, originally, it wasn't a vet for all animals, which is what Victor Miles telling me. It was he wanted to be a horse doctor in particular, but Victor Miles said, not that it changed the story, because eventually he did want to help other animals, but he already been down that road before. People expect that from Victor Miles. They expect a horse in something from a show he did years ago. GD, this horse, they just assume he's going to have a horse. He says, I've been down that road, I've been there. I think a bunch of sick dogs is something people ain't seen before, from him anyway, from what he said. So I tell you what, now, I misjudged him. That's a creative fella. He's on the ball. He's thinking, and bless his heart for getting these dogs. I'm going to see that show now. Your show, if you keep it Christmas, I'm just advice from an old man who just knows what he likes. You take it or leave it. Your show, if you just keep it Christmas, drunk and children indoors, and them trying to get him out of the car, get coffee in him, then you got a good show. That's a slice of life show.
It's like my favorite year,
What is
but
it?
with Junior Samples at Christmas.
Christmas time, yeah. Now leave the sexist. There's no reason for that. That's just crowding it up. That's just something don't need to be in there as far as I'm concerned. Leave
You're
that
right.
out.
I could put all that sex stuff in my Billy Carter musical.
Oh, hell.